So you guys are going to get some score opportunities.
Are we recording?
Yeah, we're recording.
Hello.
We're recording. I don't know when the editing is going to start.
The editing will probably start when... Do we have an intro for this show?
Do we want an intro?
I don't think we'd say an intro, but if we did, we could just record it later.
We could record another intro. Editor, record an intro.
Okay.
Make an intro for us.
Editor, start the session. We open a few days after your first score.
Whoa.
A shot from behind of Jake Lewis sitting on a bench overlooking the Parkway Canal. He wears light winter clothes and his boots sit atop about 2 inches of snow left on the ground from the prior night's precipitation. The scene is silent and serene. We cut to a view of his face in profile. He sighs with a slight smile, the largest he's grinned since freshman orientation. Suddenly, 2 hands from behind grab the straps of his satchel and pull it up such that it somewhat strangles him, pulls him halfway up the back of the bench. He gasps for air as the bag is ripped up and over his head. He falls from the bench and pivots around to Billiard and Bob Bolton. Our place got shaken up, Lewis. Lots of our stuff stolen. Bob here tells me he saw you using a fancy pen in Commerce 201 yesterday. One that looks awfully like the pen pinched from our stash. Who gave it to you? I want to give something back to them. He pulls a bent, icicle-riddled grappling hook from his bag. I've never seen that in my life. You guys were robbed? I bought a new pen. I don't know where the old one went. Billiard doesn't react as Bob takes hold of Jake's bag. He holds the straps and dangles the satchel precariously over the canal. A single textbook slips out and plummets into the icy waters with a sploosh. Oh my god! Are you fucking insane? Names, Lewis. Or we bathe the book bag. We flash forward 2 more weeks to the present day. The walls of the Harding Maxim Memorial Building are exposed brick. A gray tiled floor is dimly lit by sparking electroplasmic lights in room 204. An elderly man in a tweed jacket draws on a chalkboard the words, Exam 1, Market Day, next week, 30th of Mendar. The Magistration 101 students entering the classroom seem utterly disinterested as they take their seats. Just before the bell is about to ring, Herschel Dalton enters, checking his watch. He looks up, and in a rare occurrence, is surprised. Surprised to see that Jake Lewis, normally tucked away in the corner of the classroom, has seated himself right next to Dalton's usual desk.
Right, huh?
As the lecture begins, he whispers to Dalton every time the professor turns his back to write on the chalkboard. Hey, Herschel, so apparently people have heard I know the guys who robbed the Bolton brothers. This girl I know in my AK-211 class said she could really use the help of some capable thieves with either a big heart or a thin wallet. I told her I'd bring it up. If you and the others are still, in business and need a little cash, I told her you'd meet her on the humanities quad at 11 bells past midnight, near the statue.
Herschel's just going to, kind of stroke his chin and, sit back and think about it, and a grin is going to creep across his face.
All right.
11 bells.
11 bells.
How many are there? 11.
And we cut at that moment to a clock face across campus. 10.5 bells past midnight. The camera swivels away to reveal we're in the Van Gogh Gallery, on the 2nd floor, which overlooks the first via a balcony. On a bench near the railing sits Ernest. He has his sketchbook open next to him, the page is blank. He focuses on a portrait on the floor below, and as he does so, the subject's slight grin slowly twists into a subtle frown. A short figure sits next to him. Tall head, short-cut blonde hair, one ear a little smaller than the other. He sets his backpack down on the floor and stares blankly forward as he speaks. Heard from a friend of yours that you guys are in the stealing business. And don't worry, I'm not here to tell Parsons. I lost my wallet the other day. Casual carelessness on my part. Left it on a bench on the quad. Much to my surprise, whoever found it actually turned it into the lost and found. Though I swear I almost would have been better off if they had just kept the damn thing for themselves. See, the lady what runs the lost and found desk, Ms. Petty, she's got it out for me. Just because I talked during her substitute lecture 1 time. Anyway, she won't give me my wallet back. Pretty sure she even swiped my ID card from it so I can't claim it. Brown goat's leather, a wagon wheel sewn into the front. I need you to get it back for me. You can keep whatever money's in there. I just need my theater tickets for the drama club's performance of A Unity War Romance next month. The girl I want to ask out is starring as Svetlana, and I want to give her some roses at the end of it. You keep the cash, you just get me that ticket. Think about it.
I'll tell the others.
We cut again. This time to 11 p.m.
Whoa.
11 a.m. 11 bells past midnight is in the morning.
What?
To the Humanities Quad. She's leaning against a statue of Fairweather Dalton, an ancient patron of the university who donated a vast amount of money when Charter Hall was of greater academic pedigree. The Dalton family has since petitioned for the statue to be taken down, so as to distance themselves from Charter Hall in favor of the Duskwall Academy. Their pleas have gone unanswered. Her curly blonde hair dangles at about midway down her ears. She wears circular glasses and has a peppering of freckles across her face. Plaid skirt and a beige literature department jacket with a plain cloth bag slung over her shoulder, packed full of poetry so dense it would sink in a vial of Leviathan blood. Hey, timepiece, right?
That is correct.
Good, that's what Jake told me you go by. Look, normally I don't do this sort of thing, but we're getting desperate. A few of my friends and I have been studying non-stop for an upcoming Lit 364 exam. That's advanced Aruvian poetry. And we're getting nowhere. The professor, Dr. Abadi, has really specific answers for all the questions. They relate to his personal interpretation of the poems he gives us. It's impossible to know what he wants us to say. The only way I could see us passing the exam is, well, with his answer key in our hands. Normally I'd go to the cheat sheets for this, that's sort of their MO, but, I mean, shit, their rates are getting so high, we can't pay it anymore. I was hoping maybe you could help us out? My name is Beatrice, by the way.
Well, Beatrice, your pleas have softened my heart. I must say, though, I do not work alone. I cannot promise you that we will be able to do this for you, but I can promise you that I will try to get them on this. That is a gentleman's promise.
She reaches into her bag and produces a pouch of coins. She says, well, if you can convince your friends, we'll pay.
I would like to say have a good afternoon as it rolls over to the afternoon.
Yeah, okay, I like that.
Have a
a
good
lot.
afternoon.
We cut again, this time to the North Ward Infirmary, where in one of the bookable lab rooms, Heinz Kirchhoff sits with syringes and various pieces of medical gear, currently working on stitching an extra liver into his current rodent friend. The once sterile off-white tiles still manage to reflect the oncoming figure, walking slowly towards the lone bookender. The rat squeals to alert its owner, and the Creelhelmer looks up to see a young Aruvian student.
What is that? I cannot remember your name, Mr. Rat. Could you remind me? Of course. Yannick Wasserman.
She's about 5'4" with black hair tied into 2 ponytails, wearing an astronomy department sweater with a sophomore year patch. Her hazel eyes meet yours, and she drops a satchel on the table in front of you with a metallic clang.
Ooh.
She speaks through her black lipstick. Jake tells me you stuck it to the Bolton brothers. Got a whole bunch of stolen shit back to the right people. You know, I never got my shit back. A lot of us didn't. Because it's not there anymore. My little rabbit Rakison could maybe be peeled off that fucking dog's intestine tract, but it wouldn't be much the same as I left him. So I can't get my shit back. Why not get revenge instead? You guys fucked over the Boltons once. I figure you can do it again. And that bag is what half a dozen disgruntled students could scrape together. All yours, if you beat the ever-loving shit out of Billiard Bolton.
Just billiard?
Just Billiard.
Oh, okay. Can I take this first?
Once I hear about the beating.
Oh, why even show it to me?
Name's Mina, by the way.
What does that mean?
I don't think she responds. I think she leaves.
Okay, goodbye
What
now.
did you say to that?
I turn to Yannick and I say, you will be able to hold a lot of drink after this.
So, do you guys have a place on campus that you like meet up after class?
So we do all live in the same.
There is a big fountain.
Huge fountain.
Campus pit?
Campus pit I like a lot.
So, do you fountain or pit? Where are we going? All right. So you guys are meeting up near the fountain that is overlooked by the Fairweather Dalton statue. You guys are there at, we'll say, 6 bells past noon. Right, I was about to say the sun is beginning to set, but there is no sun. It is perpetually night. The sun shards are beginning to dip below, and so the electroplasmic lights slowly kick into overdrive as the night begins. Now, the Humanities Quad is home to a strange collection of, mangled and uneven tarps and tents and lean-tos that have sort of been set up to one hexagonal corner of the Humanities Quad. Technically, this shouldn't be allowed, but the university's donor, Montgomery Conway, that has owned this part of the Humanities Quad for generations, thinks it's funny, and so allows a number of students to just loiter there. These days, they're called the tarp hoppers, and they live with about a dozen feral cats. Word on the street is that they hawk some mean narcotic. Either way, they don't hang around the fountain much. You guys are able to sit, listen to the water, and have your usual chat with your respective dinners from dining halls or on-campus restaurants in hand. By the way, Hines, the job offered to you pays the equivalent of 3 coin.
3 coin.
It will put you at odds with the Bolton brothers, suffering at least -2 relations with them.
I do not care.
The job proposed to you has no entanglements to factions and pays out 1 coin. The job suggested to you will pay 2 coin, gives you -1 relation with the cheat sheets, and +1 relation with the pros.
What are the pros?
Yes, you've not heard of them before. You gather that it's a group of literature students. Would you like to gather information on them?
I would love to.
How are you doing this?
Asking
Pass
around.
Okay.
I'll take a consort roll.
Give me a consort gather information roll.
I don't have the thing where I have +1 die to this, so we're just gonna roll a flat with advantage. That's a 3.
That's a failure?
That's a failure. No consequence, though, because it's
No,
gather
'cause
information.
Gather information. Yeah, you don't know much about these guys. They are literature students, and they seem to hang around the prose and literature building often.
Either there's not much to know, or they hide it well.
Well, they've got money. I would be very hesitant to tangle with the Boltons again, especially considering that we did okay at snatching things from them, but fighting them was not great, generally.
Well, yes, but we could always just inject him.
Sure.
You know?
I'm not sure whether that meets the brief.
Done that.
You can punch an unconscious person.
You've done that once, and I believe you came out of it with a rather bruised face.
It's fine.
Billiard is the senior, right?
Billiard is the oldest Bolton brother. He's the head of the gang.
Right. And let's not pretend that if we went for this, we wouldn't also have to tangle with the rest of his family.
Indeed. The one I was offered seems to pose the least risk, but also the least reward. All we'd have to do is sneak into the lost and found, maybe lie our way in, and then just pocket the wallet on our way out.
Our net gain is nothing more and nothing less than what we've previously done.
Well, if we are, breaking into this lost and found office, we don't only have to take the wallet.
I suppose, but I don't know what else would be there that's worth taking.
Well, last time this was a nice surprise, and he produces again that opera mask.
Oh. Exactly. See?
Putting it back into a pocket inside his trench coat.
We are thieves, are we not?
We are thieves.
Why don't we thievery?
I suppose. 2 of our options involve thieving.
I'll tell you, a lost and found won't be like a ton of coin. You are free to rummage it, you might get a stash from it, but it won't be a large payout.
In terms of our payment to risk ratio, I like the middle one the most. The one that pays 2 and
Now you are
requires us to
already
steal test answers.
you haven't met the cheat sheets yet, but you are already at -1 relation with them for being thieves on their turf. It won't put you at war with them, but it'll make them hostile to you.
That's
How?
true.
Often do we think we'll butt heads with these cheat sheets?
Well, we're rivals in the same market. They're thieves, we're thieves. This Beatrice told you explicitly that she was coming to us because we were competitors to the cheat sheets.
James, would you allow me to make 2 more gather information rolls, respectfully for what he was offered and what I was offered, for the same question of what should I look out for?
What do you mean? What do you mean? What should I look at?
I want to know what the primary sort of like, if we try and steal test answers, are we going to be going up against like the university security or something?
Who would stand in the way?
Who would stand in the way
of
of
us
this?
Do you want to have 2 of you gathering information at the same time?
Is it study?
It could, you can justify studying to me if you
I'll do it. I have 2 in
How are you
study.
gathering information?
I'm looking into. All right, I'm just asking around, maybe.
Let me help. I think a study could be every university provides new students with a bunch of stuff that no one ever reads about, like,
Ton of that.
orientation-y materials. You could read those and maybe discover information about the lost and found and how it works.
That works. That's a dirty die.
Success.
All right, medium success. Okay, I'll say that yeah. So lost and found stuff is kept in lockers under the careful watch of the secretary of the lost and found office, in a little sort of side annex of the administrative building. Might be a security guard on post, but pretty light overall. There's a check-in process. Identify your thing, maybe get it back.
Okay.
Now, in a past life, I have broken into the office of a very astute and very paranoid professor at Charter Hall. I want to know if this is also a very astute and very paranoid professor at Charter Hall who closely guards his test bank.
Okay,
That's a 5.
that's a 5. That's a success. So Dr. I believe it was Abadi? Dr. Abadi, of Aruvian poetry expertise, allegedly keeps his answer sheets in a lockbox concealed somewhere in his office. He holds office hours between 2 and 6 bells past noon, but when he's not in the office, he usually has a TA on staff, oftentimes the notoriously persistent Hugo, to keep watch over his stuff.
Seems both are guarded by one guy and some locks. So,
However, one of those buildings, the Lost and Found, is directly accessible from the administrative building. There's a door
that's
that
true.
leads
You
into
could
it.
just go there.
The other one, his office, is on the 3rd floor of the East Stack Library.
We have climbed before.
You could climb again, yeah.
That's true, but I don't know how up to it I feel, says Ernest. He
Well, 'cause
sort
you're
of nurses
injured, right?
his
You will
arm.
have
Yeah.
less effect on climb rolls.
Yeah, he sort of nurses his arm from the banister that hit him last time we climbed something.
I'll say test answers.
Test answers pays better. I mean, there's going to be obstacles either way.
Indeed.
Yeah.
No one's beating up Billiard Bolton.
Nah.
No.
one's beating up.
We are not a
I
very
didn't think
physical
so.
group
It would
of
put
young
us at
scrappy
war
lads,
with-
you know.
A group that is better at fighting than we are.
That's true.
Yes.
Just the test answers?
Yeah.
Alright, Beatrice is
Make
going to
some
be
friends.
overjoyed. Alright, so what type of plan are we undertaking?
Probably a sneaking in plan. That is to say, stealth.
Alright, so stealth plan. What is the point of infiltration?
I don't think we need to climb again. So,
We could probably... I mean, would the building itself be locked?
it depends on when we go. Do we want to go during office hours? We could get close, but then we would have to contend with the direct attention of the professor. I could just pretend to be a student.
We are
You are
students.
students.
So
no, I
we
could just
need not
pretend to be one of his students.
Oh, okay, yeah.
On
Certainly.
his role.
You can go to office hours, yeah.
Could go to
Wait,
office
would I?
hours.
I would need to be a student of his to go to his office hours.
Yeah, but you're great at pretending to be a student
are
in
very
another
good,
major.
yeah.
Would you make me roll sway for that, or could I use consort?
Who knows?
I bet
Oh,
you
you're asking me
could-
about that role? Probably
Yeah.
consort.
Okay, great.
I bet you could go into office hours
Let's piece together a fine cover identity.
and maybe you distract him or case the place or something.
Yeah,
Which I guess makes it a bit more of a social plan.
Okay, you want to do a social plan?
Yeah, I think I want to get in with this guy. I want to go to his office hours. And then
You would
I
all
don't
you
know
need
how
to do is get
best-
him out of his office.
Mhm.
Because if we are left alone in his office, we can rummage around for the lockbox, pick the lock, steal the answer key, and hopefully reset everything before you return.
So, do I know anything about Eruvian poetry? What is Eruvia?
Aruvia is you would know this, a nation not part of the empire, far to the south of Duskwall. It is very desert heavy with large cities on oases and river floodplains. There's a lot of Eruvian immigrants living in Duskwall. Notably, one of the members of their consulate was recently found out to be funneling money to a now defunct criminal organization operating in Crowsfoot.
I'm trying to think of good lies I could make to get this guy on my team. I don't know how much time I would need to come up with good lies. Because I ain't got very many right now. But make the roll, I just can't role play
You can always
it.
have flashbacked to having read Eruvian poetry.
That's true.
Remember, this game has flashbacks. We
Yeah,
didn't do a single
we didn't
one
do
last
any,
session,
but we
and it's
have-
like the mechanic of this game that I lead with.
Yeah, because we want to preserve our stress.
So true.
Yeah, I mean, I can get the dice on it. I just don't know if can actually get editor blur my name. I don't know that I can actually think of good lies to justify like getting a good position on it. Just because I only have maybe like 15 minutes to think of them. And I don't actually live in a world where I can look up stuff on Eruvian poetry and its themes to
We
try
can
and
workshop a good lie together
Yeah.
as like a party.
I would
The other
like
thing
that,
is,
Yeah,
you
because
could
that alleviates a lot of my
This is a
worry.
very collaborative game. Like, you don't have to be as good at
Yeah.
consorting as Herschel Dalton is.
Yeah.
Because I'm not.
And
Like,
also,
that's my
Eruvian-
only real worry with my position
if
at this
you
point.
roll well, we'll come up with
Yeah.
something cool.
Because
that
Eruvian
Dalton said.
poetry isn't real, so it is whatever we say it is.
Yeah, we get to just make shit up, right?
Yes.
Alright, so, do we want to do an engagement roll?
I guess we do.
I really fucked up last time.
Winter, you're rolling our engagement.
Okay.
So this
Wait
is
a minute,
social-
what are their roles in the plan?
Wait.
We're gonna show up.
Are you all showing up at the library, just walking into the E-Stack
I
library?
think, yeah, we're just gonna go into the library, and the idea is
It's during the professor's office hours, so you guys can
We're
get into
gonna
the step
play. Yeah, we could just be in there. I think we're gonna, quietly study outside of the professor's office.
And if Herschel
And our
Dalton
plan is,
can
if
get
you
the
can get the
officer,
professor out of his office, then we could
we
slip.
go in,
Okay, you're all just walking into the library.
but like
I suppose so.
separately.
Oh, who's going in first?
I would guess
Yeah,
Herschel
me.
Dalton.
Then you're gonna roll engagement for us.
Shit.
Alright, now let's do it. Engagement roll. Take 1d for just regular old luck. I don't think this is particularly exposing a vulnerability. It's arguably hitting them. It's not hitting them where they're strongest either. So I'm not going to modify any dice for that. Friends, contacts, enemies, rivals, not super critical here. The building doesn't really have any higher tier crews in it. This professor isn't like stocked with campus security, so tier isn't super a consideration. And I don't think this is particularly bold nor overly complex. I
So
think
it's
this
really
is a
just
one
one
die
die, yeah.
operation.
Well, at least it's not super duper my fault.
Yeah.
Remember, this
Things
determines
don't
your
work.
starting position.
Okay, let's go with this big die. Editor, make this a 6. That's a 4!
We're starting at a risky position.
We'll take that.
So we're all right. So, all right, Dalton, what are you wearing? Are you dressed nice?
I think I am dressed, I'm actually not wearing the trench coat, but I am wearing like a vest and like a very nice cotton button-up. I look like disarmingly fancy. I'm not like intimidatingly fancy, which is his usual. He's trying to look like someone who isn't very powerful in spirit, like he totally is.
Mm-hmm.
I take it we're doing light load.
I think so.
So, okay, light. Oh,
We're
right.
just
Thank
walking
you for the
in.
reminder. Everyone
So,
lock in light loads.
I think it'd be a little suspicious to bring any more. It's really just like one backpack.
So yeah.
Well, do we all have to take the same load?
We
No.
don't.
I feel like at least we could justify having heavy backpacks in a library.
You could bring a backpack.
I'll take a backpack. I'm gonna go medium.
You're gonna
load.
go medium.
I think I'll stick with light because I don't really know what I would need load for. My
Alright.
character mostly runs on doing the help action for other characters.
So Dalton, you walk in.
So do I.
You walk into the library, and it's an old library, relatively nice. It's sort of like imperial style columns, not super clean or polished, but at the time they were built, quite expensive marble flooring. All of the stacks to either side of this sort of open area outside the door are from a variety of different time periods and constructed from a variety of different materials. The books just as mishmashed as the shelves they're stationed on. There's a little reception desk, help desk sort of thingy at the back, all sorts of like book return carts that have had books on them for so long without being reshelved that they're collecting vast amounts of dust. And a few people just sort of shuffle in between the stacks.
Are there bookenders? Are there bookends on like the bookshelves?
There are bookenders on the bookshelf.
He's gonna look at them and just go like, nice.
That's me, that's me.
Wait a second.
And the other major sign of life in this library is going to be two individuals sitting at a table, one facing away from you, one facing towards the door. The one facing you towards the door's chair is not like fancy, but it is the nicest chair in the library. It seems like he has pulled like a lounge chair from another floor to sit at this table. And he's dressed like nicely in like formal clothing that's a little too big for him, but still formal. He's got like flowing, long, brown hair and just this shit-eating smirk on his face as he looks at the chess pieces in front of him. He moves one of his pieces, stops the timer, looks up at you, sees a student he doesn't recognize enter his library, and he straightens his tie to approach. As he says hello to you, the guy sitting across the table from him quietly checkmates him. He walks towards you and says, "Hello. The name's Cornelius Teague, captain of the chess club. And you are..."
Oh shit! I had my fucking false name and then I completely forgot it.
Because we heard the amazing name of Cornelius
Cornelius
Teague.
Teague, captain of the chess club.
I remembered it and then you said it again.
Cornelius Teague as a name is so powerful, it erases your memory for the last 5 seconds. Cornelius Teague and lightning strikes in the background.
My name is Cornelius T. No. My name is Eric.
Eric. Hello, Eric. Welcome to my library. What are you doing here?
I have office hours with Professor...
Abadi. His name is Abadi. Dr. Abadi.
Do you think it's possible for Heinz and I to just slip through the door while he's distracted?
We'll have to have probably, yeah. But we gotta have
prowl roll.
brute prowl roll to sneak past.
Just to slip past
Steve.
Steve.
Like, yeah, probably not paying attention while Dalton is distracting. I like that idea a lot. Eric, I don't know that you're gonna make it to this meeting. This is a very prestigious university, and I don't know that you've made an appointment with me and, well, let's just call it my little group of friends. And he pulls out a business card that he has printed for, like, his little organization that reads the Grand Masters on it. And there's, like, a little subheading that says Masters of Schemery on it. and you look down at the card. We have a POV shot. You look down at the card, and you look up at him, and his whole face is arched for a really dramatic eyebrow raise. As he looks at you.
personal space.
I think we can go
is-
for the prowl roll.
Yeah,
He is,
yeah.
he is a mask of awe, but inside he's just so fucking entertaining.
So while Dalton is distracting Cornelius Teague, you guys want to sneak in the library
Yes.
past him?
I would
that.
love to.
You're doing a group prowl roll.
I guess so. I'll lead.
I don't think that you need to have less effect for this because your arm doesn't matter that much for sneaking.
Yeah, I'm literally just
I'm
walking
only
behind
saying
the
that
bookshelf.
so I remember that it's a rule that you
Right.
will have less effect sometimes.
Yeah, when I need my arm.
Now that we're
Hey,
actually
this is
doing
prowl roll, right? You're doing
This is prowl.
disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
Okay.
So yeah, no, he does the smirk, and Eric Clev sort of like has his hand in his pocket and kind of like rubs his thumb over the glass screen of his pocket watch, trying to resist the urge to say "right on time" as he gives foresight advantage to.
Oh yes, right
hi.
now.
I
Because
sort
we
of
planned this
imagine, and this doesn't have to be true, that your watch on the back of it has a little tactile clock face, so you can feel what time it is even when you can't see it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you braille read, right on, and like.
Yes, we all got little clocks and we synchronize them before the mission started.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Alright.
Dalton synchronizes all of them.
Yeah, he synced up all the clocks.
So
Alright.
you're leading the prowl
I'll
action.
lead
Go
the
ahead and roll.
prowl. So I'm prowling. Here we go. Oh, we need effect and
standard
services.
50.
Cool.
Actually, I'm tempted to give you controlled standard.
Yeah.
Because you're entering like a library and the
We're
one
just
guy
walking in.
watching it. I'm gonna give you controlled standard. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
That suits me. Let's
very
do
good.
it. All right.
That's a
That's
six.
a 6.
Success with no consequence.
We did it.
That's a
No
5!
stress.
We're chilling.
Right.
No
Right.
stress.
Yeah, you guys just like walk into the
Walk in
library as Cornelius like is still fixed with this big stupid eyebrow like raised look.
He's making the fucking DreamWorks face.
He totally is.
The
yeah.
camera's looking at him.
He thinks-
We just walk past.
You guys are like out of. You guys are like out.
The
of
camera
focus.
watches Eric as 2 out of focus figures enter the library and slip behind a bookshelf.
I have a very heavy backpack.
Says, Is this laminated?
He just does that. He just chuckles. He can't think of something to say, so he just chuckles.
So they're
They're
through.
gone. Yeah,
Yeah, we're in.
You
I'm
are
just-
the only one that has to get past Cornelius.
We did it.
And so
Yippee.
he's saying that I haven't made an appointment with him.
Yeah,
and the
he's like, you
Grandmasters."
can't get into my library. You wanna talk to us."
Flashback to when we made an appointment.
Oh yeah.
We totally could, right?
You want a one stress flashback
Made
To,
an appointment.
to have like talked to someone on the chess club and gotten an appointment?
Honestly, that's fine.
Yeah, let's do that.
I'm going to, I'm
Cornelius is
going
gonna feel
to,
so stupid.
like pull out a little slip of paper, and then it's a little cheeky, but he's gonna pull out his watch. I believe I'm actually right on time.
Really? I don't see your. When did I sign this? And the guy who checkmated him, who is finished setting up the pieces for another game, leans over and says, "Yesterday, 3 bells past noon?" "Yes. Just as planned." And he goes and sits down, and
What
as
a
you're walking
foil to
past him,
Dalton.
gets fool's mated.
Needs to be told when he did things.
I love this character so much.
I love Cornelius Teague. Yeah, I don't know. I randomly generated that name like a minute ago.
so good.
This blunder was all part of my gambit.
Yeah.
Checkmate.
Time for the end game.
Alright.
He doesn't know how to play chess.
He's full of chess malapropisms.
Yeah.
It looks like our gambit worked. Now let's make our way to the office.
So
you
I'm
guys-
past him,
Yeah, you
right?
guys have gotten
Yeah, we're
past.
in.
Congratulations! Like first obstacle overcome. The price of Cornelius Teague is 1 stress.
Nice.
Wahoo!
All right, so now you guys are in the library. What's next?
Okay, now
We have to locate his office, right? We were told which one it was, I'm sure.
Yes.
Yes,
You're
let's
gathering
find that
information.
Yeah, gather information
Yeah,
on
you guys
where
successful
the
that.
place
Because
is.
we learned
He
about
is
the
in,
teacher's assistant.
He's in room 311A. No, 311D.
Okay. There's a very angry professor in that room.
my specialty.
311.
So what are you thinking, Herschel? What are we going to do?
Well, I just have to get him walking and talking. A man of his persuasion would surely appreciate something like that.
Perhaps there's something that needs his immediate attention out in the humanities squad.
It might be that you could convince him to help you look for a book.
My immediate theory was to just go in there and say, "Would you like a walk and talk?"
That's
Can we
possibly
gather
good.
information to see how receptive Dr. Abadi would be to going for a walk and talk?
I mean,
How are
we
you
could learn
planning
of
on
his
gathering this
reputation.
information?
Asking our professors about Dr. Abadi.
Or asking
how friendly
his
is he?
students about how he is, how he treats students.
I'll allow a zero stress flashback to have done this before the mission.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's
You
doing
wanna-
this?
Captain
I mean, that
Consort.
seems like
you guys
me.
can do a group consort gather information.
I
that-
suppose we could.
Wait,
For no
so
stress
wait.
lost from anyone?
No, you'd lose stress if you fail the roll.
Well, then I'm
But
not
it's
gonna.
gather
I'm at
information.
disadvantage.
And so
I have
you
plus
have
one.
You know,
one.
a group action doesn't have to involve everyone.
I could.
Oh,
I
I
could
sit
ask
out.
around.
Yeah, so
if
you guys
want
can both
to
ask
do
around,
that together.
and you might get one stress.
You guys
that
have
you're
fun.
very
All right,
angry.
sure.
Yeah.
Let's ask around.
Let's have asked around.
Let's have asked around.
Okay, so I'm gonna lead this roll,
You
and
got
we're
it.
gonna do some good rolling.
We're gathering.
That's a 6.
All right, see
Cool.
if you get a double 6 with the synchronized ability.
Let's find out.
That's
No.
3.
You ruined the 6. That's a 4 now. All right, so yeah, you guys are able to
Sorry to
ask
stress you
around.
out, Herschel.
And
Don't
Dalton,
mean you didn't find anything.
who is your friend?
Oh, my friend
does an
is
architecture
August, a master architecture major.
Okay, so yeah, we cut to a few days before the operation because it's assumed you guys have been planning for like a week.
Yeah.
Right? We cut to a few days before the operation. We're on we see red felt, and then 2 dice suddenly come into view.
Oh, wow.
A 5 and a 6. We sort of pan up to see you collecting some poker
A
chips
consort roll.
in the middle of the Drudgeway. What is it called?
The Drudgeway
The
Rollers.
Drudgeway Rollers
Rollers.
Speakeasy on the 7th floor of the Drudgeway dorms. A couple dozen or so students are in the background mingling, drinking illicit smuggled-in booze, and gambling under the watchful eyes of the floor's corrupt resident advisor, who runs the speakeasy for a tidy profit. Next to you is August, your newly minted friend in the architecture major. God, did you say Dr. Abadi?
Yes.
Oh my god. The most bloodthirsty academic I have ever met. I've never seen a man who has so carefully and expertly crafted a curriculum such that 70% of his students fail. You know, I know you weren't around when the slugs were a thing, but I had to pay them, God, a good few sterling to break into the admin office and burn my academic record after flunking out of one of his courses. I didn't even know Super Fs was a thing.
I don't believe they are.
Yeah. I think if you walk and talk with him, he's going to walk you right down to the headmaster's office and petition for your expulsion. By the way, don't sit down unless he tells you to. I had a friend who made that mistake. Good luck.
This complicates matters. What will it take to get a professor of this caliber?
So
out
I have
of
taken
office?
already load for find cover identity to be Eric Clev.
Oh, you should have gotten an extra die when you rolled to. Oh no, you didn't roll to get.
I didn't even roll. I just took a stress to get around it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, so you have
But I
fine items
have
for the
that.
purpose
I'm
of
planning
perception.
on using that to just get around his stuff. So what's the over under on he walks me down to the headmaster's office to petition for my expulsion?
And you aren't.
You could
Herschel Dahl.
walk with him.
Is
Most
my
of the
appearance
way.
sufficiently changed by a fine
Yes.
cover identity?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
sick.
Like they don't know
Um,
you. You don't have you have a fake
What I have
student ID on you.
Okay,
Yeah.
I
You
have
don't-
a fake
you don't
identity.
have
Okay,
fine cover
great.
identity.
Fine cover
In
identity.
a week, you procured a fine cover identity for this op because you're a master schemer. That's
Oh
what
yeah,
you
yeah.
are.
I was dressed really fancy. I've unbuttoned like 3
Yeah.
of those buttons.
He could walk you to the headmaster's office and then you just bolt before you reach it.
That
I
would work
actually
too.
really like that plan.
Trip
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, Yeah. Okay. What would bolting be? Would that be
Probably
Prowl.
I have a die in that.
Yeah.
Like, as long as he's not
I
in
don't
his
imagine
office,
he
we
can
are
roll.
I don't imagine he would harm me.
Dr. Abadi has a large club.
Beat students with. Okay. Okay. So upon
Yeah,
realizing this, he's going to assume a radically different posture with Eric Kled.
Okay.
He's going to say, "Well, bookenders, time to get caught," and he's going to.
We've taken
On
up
the
a
professor's
hiding place
We are
somewhere
hiding.
in the stacks,
We are not
near enough
there.
to the door to
We're
slip
listening
but
in to hear them leave.
out of
Alright.
eye shot,
Yes.
eye line.
So at this,
Mhm.
the door is going to creak open a little bit, and standing there with like a look of appalled horror on his face is the young TA Hugo, who is opening the door for Dr. Abadi. So Hugo like looks out at you. He's got sort of curly, sort of greasy brown hair, a couple acne scars. He seems to still be wearing a winter jacket, having forgotten that he is indoors. And not noticed despite the fact he's sweating a little bit because the E-Stack Library's radiator has been broken for a few weeks. And he's gonna like look at you and like gasp out the words, "Do you have an appointment?"
You need a towel there.
And at this you're gonna hear from inside, "Who is that?"
Clev, Eric Clev.
You push your way in.
Here for office hours. So wait, is there a chair? Because I'd like to immediately sit down and put my feet up
So-
on his desk.
The chair that is visible is the one that has an indent in it from Hugo just having stood up from it.
I know I would definitely
Yeah.
like to take
And
that.
you like just scooch in, plant yourself down, and Dr. Abadi is sitting at this big, ornately carved desk with all sorts of literary, poetic, and epic figures from Eruvian lore, just engraved in various dramatic scenes across the entirety of the woodwork. Behind him is a large Eruvian tapestry of a bowman riding on a white horse across some desert plains. He leans forward in his big office chair, which is sort of stylized that like a big brass serpent comes up and pokes just above where his head is when he's sitting with his back to it. And he leans over and says, "Office hours are by appointment."
You've got the time, haven't you?
And he's going to look down and look up at you with a very deeply insincere smile, and he's going to say, "Time for what?"
I want to talk about getting my grade changed.
And you are?
Clev, Eric Clev, I already fucking said that, didn't I?
What class are you here for, Mr. Clev?
What class do you teach again? Eruvian, what's the first it?
Poetry!
Yes,
Advanced
someone.
Eruvian poetry!
I don't seem all that advanced, just a bunch of wish wolves.
And at this point, would you like to roll something to get this guy riled?
I don't know if he has to.
Like,
Dude's right.
yeah, I guess, yeah, keep going. Okay, what do you want to do here? He's like, this guy, you're going to see, like, a vein in his head begin pulsing a little bit.
It pops.
Aneurysm, yeah. Plus 8.
So yeah, no, I guess I'm just banking on him taking me to the headmaster's office. And I'm trying to goad him into doing that by just being a shithead.
Okay, then I think that would be a roll.
Mhm.
Now, obviously, you get your 3 dice by default. I am going to give you... I'm going to give you, like, risky... I'm going to give you risky great. This is, yeah. Like, you've done very well. I'm increasing your effect because that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, you've done.
Could a great result pull the TA out too?
Here's what I'll do instead. I'm going to give you an extra die to this roll.
Oh.
And I'll give you standard risky, and you can go to desperate great to pull the TA out.
If I push myself,
Desperate
I would
consequence.
love to have made it
Shoots him.
desperate consequence. I actually get expelled. I could resist a desperate consequence. This is a
Certainly
social. Well, actually, whatever it is, I get 2 die to resist.
Yeah.
So I mean, could someone perhaps have helped me with?
I'd like to, but how could I?
For a
I have
flashback?
3 stress already.
Here's a flashback. Flashback. Ernest is an art student, and as an art student, he's had to learn a bit about the cultures of our world, including the art of Eruvian people. And so he knows by reputation or just by assuming that a painting like the one with the horseman would likely be in that room. And he also knows that Eruvian paintings are done in a particular style that sort of, I imagine it's heavy on brush strokes, it's a little abstracted, in a way that an uncaring and unthinking student might insult.
So you want to have...
I want
you've heard
to,
about...
using my art knowledge, using the knowledge I have as an art student, plant an idea to be like, hey, if you're gonna be the worst and get this guy super mad, insult Eruvian artwork, there's almost certainly one in his room.
I like that. So then he's gonna be like, "Hey, what's that horse you got up there? Looks like shit. You painted it yourself?"
I will say that is a one stress flashback. Yeah, you have heard about this painting, and you know to get under this guy's skin, you've got this like shitty Acarosian pop artist that you can suggest having painted it.
One with the extra die for just how much of an asshole I'm being, and one from Winter Blades of the
Holy
Dark.
fuck, you have 5 dice?
Yeah, I would
This
love
is
to go
Desperate
to
Great.
Desperate Greats.
You
There you
want
go.
Devil's Bargain?
No.
No,
Why?
I'll tell you what I want is I want a 6. That's a 6.
That's 1
Let's
6.
go.
Very nice.
Very
We
good.
take those. 0 consequences.
We did it.
And so yeah, a great means like the TA goes
and the
to
professor,
and
Do I
desperate,
take-
so I get EXP to
I take 2
resolve.
stress, 1 for flashback, 1 for help.
You
No.
said 1 stress flashback to help.
No, it's a 1 stress flashback plus an additional help.
Oh
Because
shit.
it's you're helping from a distance. That's why. Yeah, so it is 2 stress.
No
Okay.
worries.
But yeah, I've got them both out of the office.
So, okay, at this, he stands up and says, "Let's walk and talk." And Dr. Abadi steps out from behind his desk, and you hear a little clank, and see that from the knee down, he's apparently lost that portion of his leg, and it's been repaired by a little slightly electroplasmic device. And he says, "Forward, Mr. Clev. Let's go to the academic office and see about that grade."
You're forward or my forward?
Hugo! Blaze a path for us. And Hugo is going to smile at you, push his chair back to where it was, and walk out the office door. You're expected to follow.
I do.
All right. So Hugo, Clev, and Dr. Abadi leave the office and begin walking towards campus. All right. Congratulations. You have baited Abadi and Hugo away. This is going well.
All right.
Good plan. I like that. I like that a
Yeah.
lot.
Well,
We
Alice,
enter the
Yeah, it would
office.
seem that they have left.
Now's
Now-
our time.
So you guys wait for them to leave, and you guys come forward.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this is a now. I should have described this to you. This office is 311D, meaning that at the 3rd floor of this library, where the literature department's offices are, there's like a little sort of waiting room area where you can be like, hey, which professor is in which office, and then connecting to that room are the suites where the actual professors have their offices. And so there's like somebody like, sitting there at a desk doing today's Charter Hall Post crossword puzzle. And then there's the rooms there.
If they're not paying much attention, we might be able to slip past them with a little prowl.
Would you like to roll Prowl to slip past? I'm going to give you Controlled Standard.
Would I?
All right. give me
All right,
Controlled-
and as that happens, we're going to hear an uncharacteristic shouting from the library of...
Where have all my pieces gone?
And it's very loud, and there's a fuss that begins, and Eric barely hears that and says, "I want you to look at that right on time!" He's going to once again give foresight to this prowl roll.
I have 1 die.
What did you do with his pieces?
Took them.
Smuggled away his pieces.
Swiped them all.
All right.
He's just like walking by. Just...
Let's see this prowl roll. Hit. Success.
All right.
Okay.
No
Uh,
stress
We do
for
a
you.
lot of group prowling.
Yeah, we're group
Yeah.
prowling.
Oh no!
Oh.
Good thing we're
Stress for
group
you.
prowling, yeah.
What's a minor consequence we can do?
This guy's thinking of a minor consequence.
It can't be getting discovered because we succeeded
That
in
would be
sneaking
insane,
by.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be insane.
They see us. But they
Okay.
think nothing of it.
I'm not going to fill in any slices, but I think I will start a clock.
That
Okay.
makes sense.
Okay. What time does this clock tell?
Dr. Abadi has an appointment. An appointment for 4 slices from now.
Okay.
So someone else will show up to the office.
Interesting.
Yes. Now you guys creep past this secretary, and he's like not even gonna look up. He's like, 3 across. Article. First letter T, last letter E. And you guys just push your way past. And yeah, room 311D is right there,
Okay.
behind the door.
Can we open it?
You can try, but it is locked.
Wait, he locked the door
Oh, dear.
behind him?
Yeah, Dr. Abadi definitely locks the door.
Could we flash back to Herschel Dalton pulling Dr. Abadi away before he could have locked it?
No stress for the flashback. It's relatively recent. I think it's a fair thing for Dalton to have thought of in the moment. Do you want to make a roll for it? It might come with consequence.
Oh, man.
Your call.
It might be just as easy to tinker the lock.
I
open.
think Tinker
Yeah,
is
but
probably
then
better.
that's evidence. They know that something's up. I feel like
They'll know
ideally-
something's up when the test bank is gone.
They'll know something. They won't know
or
that
the
the
answer
test
key
bank
is
is gone
gone.
after I binding oil where it is shut.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
That's so
You're,
base.
so yeah, you're setting up for a zero heat operation.
I think what you could do is we have fine quality gear. You could totally just lockpick the door and it wouldn't even break anything.
Is that true?
That would be a success without a consequence. Would be the door's lock is broken.
Find tinkering tools would be lockpicking.
Well, yeah, and we've got our burglary
It
gear
would be
too,
fine burglary gear.
which
is
we
free.
have for free because of
Okay.
our crew
Okay,
powers.
excellent.
Because of thief rigging, we get 2 free load worth of tools or gear, and we have fine quality gear.
And it would be tinker.
Yes.
Your time to shine.
I'm going to give you standard risky.
Oh, and it's fine.
I'm going to give you standard risky. Would you like a devil's bargain?
We'll just pitch it. If you have one already.
Yeah. The appointment's actually for earlier. They forgot on the way here, but they rescheduled to be 2 slices quicker.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's the sort of thing we'd get as a consequence anyway.
We can just relock the door.
I think we would rather be in and out before the appointment
Drift
gets
oil.
here.
There's a window in this office, I'd assume.
Correct.
We
That's-
jump out the window.
That's totally an option, but I don't think we need to take the bargain because you're rolling 3
Well,
dice.
Why? Yeah. But like, it's a non-bargain. It isn't a consequence really in my mind.
Okay, if you feel that way.
Would you like to take
Yeah,
it?
let's do it. Let's
An appointment
ensure.
arrives, and
the
remember,
success.
2 slices is 1 risky consequence. So you are 1 risky consequence away from the appointment arriving.
This is the die that I wouldn't have rolled. Let's see
Are you
if I
going
would
to
have
desperate
succeeded.
grade?
No.
Nah,
Okay, so you're at
no
standard
reason.
risky.
Nah. Yeah,
That's
So
a
we're-
success with consequence.
that's
But-
fine.
We have one more
From what?
That's true.
from
Oh,
the Devil's Bargain.
from-
He
Oh,
just
yes, of
is
course.
rolling that
I'm
separately.
just seeing what would have happened.
Gotcha.
That
Oh,
looks
Come
like
on.
a 6.
Come on.
in the future, that will also apply if it's
Ah.
a 1.
Ah,
That is definitely
that's
a
fine,
6,
yeah,
but
I'm
it
fine
will
with
apply if it's a 1.
We'll,
Success
we'll do that little...
without consequence. You push the door open. Dr. Abadi's office is, as I described it earlier.
Empty.
Except, yes, sans Hugo and a very angry professor.
Ernest looks at the painting that he guessed would be there and is pleased with himself.
Is there, yeah.
We lock the door behind us.
Okay.
We
Door's
look
locked.
for a window first.
Yeah, there's a window in here. Yeah,
We
you're
open
on the... Okay. A little bit of the winter breeze enters into the room and blows some of his papers off of the desk.
We should probably... I'm going to close the window and reset those papers.
Okay, yeah.
They're reset.
Okay.
Let's be careful.
Yes, I agree.
If I were a belligerent professor, where would I keep my lockbox? And I guess we're going to... Do you want a group study to find it?
I think that's
Study?
more of a survey thing, isn't it?
Oh.
I guess you're searching an office.
Yeah, it's an
that's
office.
a feasibly study.
Group study.
I'll give you standard risky. Would you like to go to desperate grade?
I don't know that we need to.
What would a
Standard
great success
find us
even
the
entail?
thing, right?
Like, standard is we find the cheat sheets.
Or we find
Grade
the
is I
lockbox.
give you an additional benefit. I'm
Something
gonna
else
say
good happens.
You're gonna find his wallet and gets a stash.
A stash?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll give you half a coin, like,
Uh,
which is 25% of what you are earning.
that's true, but I'd rather not take a desperate consequence.
This was the job that pays 2 coin.
Yeah.
Yes.
And half
So
a
half a
coin
coin
Oh, that's
is
a
25.
Yeah, let's
Whatever.
not risk a consequence.
So
Let's just do
standard
standard risky.
Standard risky.
group
I will
action.
lead.
Go for it.
Failure.
Failure.
1 stress.
I might be inclined to
Push
push
yourself.
myself.
How many stress do you have? You have 3. Could
I have 3.
flashback hell?
I don't think we've done the roll.
I suppose.
Decisions tend. I might allow you to take a devil's bargain now because that feels in the spirit of the rule. I think decisions are made before the roll.
That's fair.
I think this is at its core a risk and dice management game.
So I got 1 die.
Devil's
Yes.
bargain?
I think devil's bargains can be made before the roll. I think that's fun and in spirit. But I can't think of one unless one of you guys has something to pitch.
Fill in the clock.
Well,
I honestly
Deal.
think the clock should be thrown out because, like, they're gonna arrive, see that it's locked, and if that ever comes up into anything, it'll be like he was out of the office escorting some punk.
Dr. Abadi is very punctual, and you don't know that this is a student arriving for an appointment.
yeah, that's true.
Oh.
We're gonna...
It's not a non-threat.
I think we just roll the die and see what happens. So I have 1 die to roll, and so I got a 50-50 chance that we succeed.
Okay, go ahead. 1
That's a
is a
1.
failure. Take a stress.
Sorry, Heinz. Okay, so we don't find the box.
Failure with a consequence. I am going to say you are going to get shaken up. Like, you guys are putting a lot of effort into searching for this, and you just find piles upon piles of thick Aruvian poetry. It's hot in here. You're not finding anything. You're getting frustrated. And Heinz, you are going to take a level 1 harm flustered.
Oh. Ouch.
You could choose to resist, but honestly...
What kind of resist would this be?
That would be a...
Insight?
I'm going to say insight.
I'll resist it.
Go ahead.
Wait.
Look at your stress track. You've only got 4 more to give.
Potential trauma out here.
I kind of want a trauma, though.
Really? Remember,
1. I want 1.
when you take 4, you're out.
And also,
I know, but
we
like,
need
a
And
trauma
you
to-
want this to be the thing that
Here's the
causes
thing.
you to trauma out?
We need you to
That would
crack
be
the safe.
so lame. And we need you to, like, glue it back.
Because you're
That would be real bad, yeah.
more important to this
Okay,
mission
I'll
than I
take it.
am.
Alright.
What?
Level
Besides,
level
when
harm
you fill
flustered.
that heal clock, they both go away.
That's true, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Boosted.
so,
Here's something. Could I attune to find it?
oh, okay, yes, yes, I like that a lot. I'm gonna give you...
He's getting XP this time, boys!
You have the ghost gazing ability.
I sure do.
I'm gonna give you controlled standards.
Sweet. All right, I am going to...
You can go to risky grade if you'd like. I have a great effect in mind,
Let's see.
but I don't want to tell you what it is.
Is
That's
it
fair.
better than a stash?
Yes, I think so. It's more relevant to accomplishing your goal.
Standard grade does sound pretty good. Because...
Risky grade.
If it's
Risky
something
grade.
that helps me, don't bother,
It
gang.
doesn't help
I've
you.
got this.
So if I'm trying to read the text of... So Ghost Mind is you're always aware of supernatural entities in your presence. Take +1d when you gather info about the supernatural.
Oh,
So I don't know that I would get the +1d.
You do.
I
yeah,
do?
You do.
Okay,
you
cool.
Do. Yeah, totally.
So
So
I'm rolling 3 dice to start
I guess.
with on
Do I
my
give you the great effect?
attune.
Oh no, you have standard controlled. Yeah,
I'm in
right.
standard
Yeah,
control, and I
you
can go to risky grade. I could also push myself to get great effect because
You
that
could.
exists.
Does it?
Yes, you can push yourself to improve effect.
Oh fuck yeah! That's
Everyone
awesome.
forgets all the time.
Push yourself. Oh
Yeah, you can
shit.
get a +1 to effect with push yourself.
That's
if you,
awesome.
If
No
you,
one's ever
if you
done that.
forego the +1 die.
I don't mean in my campaigns ever in the history.
And
of this
nobody,
game. No one's ever
yeah,
done
no one in Blades
John
of the Dark
Harper
has
didn't
ever
know.
done that.
He's finding out. Yeah.
And I
You
don't,
gotta email him.
I don't know that I'm going to be the first,
Ernest
honestly,
has the 10.
2 stress for that? Like, it's not-
because I don't really need
think
the
it's
2
worth it.
stress.
Yeah.
So I'm going to roll 3 dice.
That's
At-
risky great,
At risky great or at controlled standard.
which would give you an opportunity to do it again should you fail.
Those are good odds for getting a standard effect.
Let's go for controlled standard because then if I fail with 3 dice, then I get a mulligan.
Which is nice.
So-
your odds of failure are near 0.
Let's do it because we got to find the thing in order to do the thing.
6.
6.
Success with no
6, thank
consequence.
God.
Would you
Cool.
like to roll again at risky standard?
No, I think I'll take the 6.
So okay, you guys like search all through this office, just like, no, all through all the desk drawers, nothing. Where the hell is this thing? And then Winter sort of stands still and like sort of puts it. What does it look like when you gaze into the ghost field? You describe it to me.
Ooh, okay. Winter is going to.
I want to know if frost forms on the window.
Yeah,
I was about
Winter.
to say, yeah.
Winter sort of freezes, in a sense, and you can see that his eyes sort of shine like blue ice as he gazes around. And Heinz, you do feel a sort of chill run up your spine as the room appears to get colder.
I thought the radiator was broken the other way.
Yeah, it seems that the broken radiator is no match for Winter and his ghost mind.
So as the room sort of flickers, like black and white, but like bluish, is there a term for that?
Yeah, like a
Blue and
cool
white?
black,
Sort of like
like
an
a cool
inverse
gray.
sepia.
Yeah,
Inverse.
It's a cool gray.
You see everything in inverse sepia with little bits of electroplasmic energy flickering around all the living entities nearby. And you can sort of feel that there are other people in the rooms around you, including a very frustrated person just through the wall beside you as they cannot figure out the middle letter of their crossword. And as you're looking around the office, you don't have like x-ray vision, but you can see something. Something below where the desk drawers end. Something below the bottom of the bottommost desk drawer. A little box with a little red ward over it, shining into the ghost field.
How very tricky. Heinz, if you'll help me move the desk.
Okay.
It's in a compartment in the desk.
Okay. In that case, Ernest sort of crouches behind the desk, observing the compartment. Is he able to open it?
Yep.
And he sees the object with its
Little
ward.
panel just pops out of the bottom and you're able to discard it to the side.
I would like to gather info to discover the effect of the ward.
Very well, go ahead.
So, once again, this is a 3 dice attune, except this time, there's no position or effect. We're just learning things.
Excuse me.
4.
4. Okay, so moderate success.
Ghost mind.
The way that this thing exists in the ghost field, the chalk that it is inscribed with, and the seams welded into the box around it, indicate that this ward will, if it is not disabled before the mechanism is open, deliver an electric jolt to whoever is touching the box.
Oh dear.
Ernest explains this to Heinz. You wouldn't happen to have any, like, rubber gloves, would you?
Well,
You are,
I'm sure that
I think that would be like
pharmacist.
could bring
room
some
for-
fine tinkering tools or some sort of gear, you know.
I guess you could armor that.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Armor, yeah.
Like you can
You
have like
are medium
electrician's
low.
gear and that's armor.
Yeah.
Tick me some armor.
I guess if you wanted to. Don't tick it yet, because
I won't tick it yet.
I could... Well,
He says, putting the armor bag away
I have
into
a-
his bag.
I could attempt to disarm the ward
Yes, you could.
with a little bit of magic. What would I need to do that? My own arcane implements?
Yeah, do you have arcane implements?
I can tick them.
Yeah, that would make sense. You got your chalks that you just
I got my chalks. Or actually, question.
Yes.
What is a ghost key?
It unlocks ghost doors. Ghost key.
Because I have that as
The
a
word
thing
ghost
I can
key
do.
is mentioned once. An arcane device that can open ghost doors. Fuck.
Alright, we're gonna have to run into some ghost doors later on.
There's an echo, a trap for ages, sometimes a door.
We're gonna find so many
You'll
ghost
I'll give
doors
you a
on this
ghost door.
campus.
Give us a ghost
Eventually.
door.
There will
I
be a
always
ghost.
joke that ghost keys open ghost doors, open the rule book, and find that.
That is it.
actually
That
true.
is what it
Yeah, I'm
is.
always, yeah. This is
Okay.
like the 4th time I've been surprised to find that.
So I have my arcane implements.
Yes.
I figure I will simply attempt to disarm the rune,
Okay.
and if I fail, perhaps
We have
I
the backup.
have the backup armor to resist the consequence.
Okay.
So he would take armor and give it to you?
Well, I could tick it.
I think it would
I
make
guess.
sense both ways. Like, you just have the gear that he brought.
Somebody would
Yeah.
tick it.
Somebody would tick armor, but for now, I have 2 dice to attune with.
Mm-hmm.
My arcane implements don't help me other than like having them is useful, but they don't give me a dice effect.
Yes.
Um,
It keeps your position at standard.
yeah.
So you're at standard risky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's go for the risky standard roll. Worst case, I get zapped and can armor through, or whatever else might happen.
Go ahead.
Here we are.
5.
2 fives.
Success with consequence. So you go over, draw your big chalk circle on the surface of this iron lock box at the bottom of the desk. You like put it out on top of the desk, just draw a big X over it, and then you just like look at it, gaze very hard, and the entire surface of the box gets coated with a thin sheet of bluish ice that then shatters and carries with it in the particulates in the air as it slowly evaporates in the atmosphere bits of red chalk. It goes with a poof, and you hear a huh outside.
Oh.
Hey, what's going on in there? Hey!
Ernest looks to Hines, and he gives him a look that says, "Remember last time there was someone upset with us through a door?"
And we cut to Dalton, halfway across campus, walking with Dr. Abadi and the TA Hugo. The administrative building finally comes into view in the distance. You approach, and he says, "Right through these doors, Mr. Clev."
So, I would like to book it. And
Really?
what I would
All
like
right.
to do
Kick his leg.
is
Kick
I
his-
would like to...
Tinker to
This administrative building is supposed to be pretty easy to find. It's also supposed to be pretty decently illuminated by a Sparkcraft sort of street light. And what I'm going to do, I would love to just kind of create some like distracting nonsense just to give me like more die to this as I'm using load. I'm trying to justify ticking load for my fine bottle of whiskey because this totally feels like Eric Clev behavior.
So, okay, what are you doing?
Wait,
I
so
want
what do you
to take this
want?
bottle of whiskey, throw it at the like streetlights, like Sparkcraft mechanical stuff, have it like sputter and like bang and like smoke, and then just book
Disappear
away,
in the darkness.
disappear in the darkness.
So we'll call this first roll a setup roll to give you increased effect or a more controlled
I was
position?
just looking to get an extra die using a load.
Okay. Okay, sure. Deal. Alright. So, yeah, deal. Alright.
And I
So
just
you
wanted
wanna
to
jump
do it in a
straight to the
rowdy
prowl.
way because this is my alternate identity, Eric Clev.
So, what are you asking me to
I am-
roll skill-wise?
I guess.
I'd imagine
This
prowl
feels
for
like,
the running away, but
this feels like
This feels
this
like
feels
wreck.
like a wreck,
I
but I
was-
don't have any
I-
die
You
in
can
that.
always push yourself to get a die. Can
Man,
you use foresight on yourself?
no, and I've already
he's already
used
done
it
it twice as well.
Right.
Man, I don't want to push myself on this. You know what? So if I just run away right now, screw the fine bottle of whiskey.
What would you expect position
What's the roll
effect-wise?
to just
To just sprint off into the night and hope you're
I do have a
faster
die
than
in
these
prowl.
two.
Could I just
Is
prowl
it
away?
nighttime?
It's
Prowl
always
to
night.
just-
It's
Oh
perpetual
yeah, it
night.
is always night.
It's like dark, but campus is well lit.
I see.
What's my position effect?
To just run away using
Yeah.
prowl?
Yeah.
Standard risky. No, wait a minute. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm tempted. I'm torn between two options. You're on campus walking towards the administrative building by commonly pass-through routes. It's like 4 past noon. People are exiting class. This is a well-populated part of campus. There's campus security officers occasionally. So I'm going to start a clock that you need to fill called escape. So standard means, for a success, we fill in 2 slices. And you are halfway to having disappeared. Does that make sense?
This is more than I thought for getting out of here. I thought I would just make some big flashy show and then dip out.
Well,
I'll tell you what. You
I could
use your
see-
whiskey plan using rec. That is great effect. 4 slices.
So what is my
Ooh.
position?
Risky.
Oh,
But
risk,
you have
risky, great, wreck.
risky, great
But
wreck.
wreck.
but rec. Yes. I like this compromise. guys.
I like
Because that
it too.
plan's great and big and flashy, and I'll let you feel the clock in one roll.
What do you have in rec?
None
but
disadvantage.
you can push yourself with one. I don't imagine the fine bottle of whiskey.
It
fine
literally
qualities
is
here.
fine.
It is fun, yeah.
It is
Right,
fine.
get a die?
Fuck it, yeah.
Based.
That's
It
2
is a
die
fine
if I
bottle.
push
Like,
myself.
this is highly alcoholic, and it'll like I don't know.
It'll combust or
corrode
something,
The wire.
yeah.
It'll come. It's like Sullivan Orchard's brand whiskey (parentheses extra flammable).
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so man, 2 stress, bummer.
Nah, I think this is worth
This is
it.
awesome. So you're getting 1 die.
This is awesome sauce.
Whiskey
two
great,
die.
I'm
desperate,
pushing
unbelievable.
myself
Yeah.
and getting a
Push yourself
second.
plus
getting it
second.
fine down.
yes, of course,
That's
because you're
fine
using
quality.
fucking whiskey.
Yeah,
Extra flammable. I love it.
Fine
Okay.
whiskey, extra flavorful.
Come on,
Alright.
don't give me 2 3s.
I feel it, but I don't want to believe it. That's a 6!
Oh,
Let's
6!
go.
No consequence. So what are you saying before? Are you saying anything, or just like suddenly hurling
Says-
a bottle of whiskey into the open gearbox of this steampunk lamp?
Give me the name of an Eruvian poet. Quick.
Editor, give me a name.
Oh, thanks, editor.
Hossam. Nah. Desire?
That's crazy. I like a song.
A poet named Desire.
Let's go with
Babu Saif?
Babu Saif. Where do you see that?
It's second from the bottom.
Babu Saif. Yes. Babu Saif is widely regarded as the greatest Eruvian poet of the last 300 years.
So, he says, I believe it was the Eruvian poet Babu Saif who said, "You'll never take me alive!"
And you
Dash.
throw this bottle of whiskey up like 10 feet into the air to the top of this street lamp. And the whole bottle like crushes in on the exposed circuitry. And the mechanism before like the fail-safe switches pumps like a third of the liquid into the actual light itself. And the whole thing just like shatters and spews flame and shards of glass and electricity everywhere. And you just sprint off as Hugo in like slow motion, Hugo and the professor like cower to shield themselves from the glass. And he looks up and he says, "Hugo! Babu Saif did say that! Mark that fucker down for 2 points of extra credit!" And you flee off into the night as he like fists into the air. Clev! And you escape.
Good luck.
Back to the office. You've cracked the ward.
Burglary gear definitely comes with a ski mask.
Yes.
I put it on.
Yeah, so there's like a knock at the door, and like Winter looks
Literally.
over at you, and you are putting on a ski
Fucking
mask.
fantastic, Mr. Buckley.
Winter is going to grab the lockbox and hide behind the desk.
Okay.
I'm going to
Bam, bam, bam.
get a handful of trans powder, unlock the door, open it.
Opening the door, throwing trance powder, standard risky.
What do I roll? Can I do tinker for this?
No.
Pretty please?
No.
But I'm tinkering away out of the
Absolutely
situation.
not. No, this is.
Why
Yeah, I'll
would
give
this
you.
is
I'll give you like.
probably.
Why don't you just use the
Tell you what, for Tinker, I will get.
bellows? That's the word.
Do we want the whole office to be full of trans powder?
We only need to hit the one guy.
Yeah.
You
And
just
we
need
only
to hit
want
the
to hit the
door.
one guy.
You need a load for bellows as well.
Yeah, he's
That's
a
true.
I
he's
can
a
do
medium.
that. Like,
Yeah, but you can also save yourself the load and
Yeah.
maybe keep your armor on.
Because you're not out of the woods yet. You're currently on the 3rd floor.
Yeah, and we still need to get the box open.
What am I rolling for this? Skirmish?
You can do Tinker, but it's going to be limited risky.
feels like a
would be-
skirmish.
This is skirmish, yes.
Okay, I'll do skirmish. Do you have a devil's bargain for me? 1 stress help?
Yeah, Winter might be able to help. Here's how Winter will help. He, rather than hiding behind the desk, is just gonna be.
Look at me!
He's gonna be beside the door. He's probably put a mask on as well. He's got various ones as a whisper that work on demons and ghosts.
This is your human working mask.
Yeah.
Works
Yeah,
on-
he's got a people bane mask that he's wearing, and he is going to, I guess, all we need to do is hit this guy in the face with trance powder. So maybe Winter will like just try and like hold him there.
So you open the door.
Winter's
and-
gonna try and like grab him.
Grabs him
you
by the
grab
collar.
pull him
Grab him, pull him
in,
in,
and you like,
yeah.
sure, 1 stress bonus die.
Yeah,
All right.
there you go. You got it.
Wait. Standard risky. Anyone have a devil's bargain?
I don't know that we need one. How many rolls are you
2
rolling?
die.
You got 2 dice.
I think we're okay.
Go ahead.
Let's see it.
4.
Ooh,
Thank
we got
God.
it.
Success with consequence.
Dude is
We're gonna rock in
trance.
the 4s.
I'm gonna say consequence, right? The desk drawer has been popped open. This person has had trance powder and hit the floor. You know, somebody's gonna hear
Well,
a
I'm
bang from
catching
downstairs. There's footprints. Oh, well, this is the consequence.
Yeah,
There,
fair.
you don't catch them.
Can we resist this consequence?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess we could.
Standard consequence.
What-
+2
what would
to
it
the
be?
operation.
What would it be to resist this consequence? What roll?
I'm gonna say prowess to.
I have 3 in prowess.
Holy shit.
I could
Yeah.
do this.
Okay.
Wow.
Go
Okay.
for
Yeah.
it.
Go ahead and resist it. You don't
Because,
take the
yeah,
stress.
By prowess,
'Cause so far,
this
no-
is Heinz catching him before he falls.
Yeah.
Yes.
6.
Six.
No stress.
No
No
stress
stress.
loss.
We
I'm
get
gonna
pretty
say
lucky.
you
on
ratchet it
these.
down to 1 heat, minor consequence, which can be resisted again to 0 heat.
Oh, prowess?
Yes.
I mean, you might as well, I guess.
See how stressful catching this guy is. And now you're
Six.
Six.
You remake the office as was, no signs of a struggle.
And I put
Yeah.
him back in his chair. He's just
Yeah,
asleep.
Yeah.
he's asleep behind his
No
crosshair.
memory of the
He's
trance
asleep on
powder.
his chair, yeah.
You expertly reset the room, and you lean over to the crossword puzzle and write H for 3 across.
All right.
And I close the door behind me as I go back into the office and lock it.
Okay.
Cool.
Welcome back.
Wait a minute. You
Alright.
wrote H for T blank E. You wrote the for. Oh, I thought it was article of clothing.
No,
and
it was
I.
article word.
Article as in as in there's only
Article
3 of
That's
them.
how they
speech.
get
Yeah.
I thought the answer was time.
Winter checks his watch. That is synced with Herschel's watch.
Oh yes, Herschel must be right on time right now.
I expect so.
Check his watch. Right.
I expect Herschel's escaped right now. Let's see if we can do the same. But first,
And,
Let's
that
and
is-
by the way, the characters don't see or react to this, but you say, he must be escaping right now, and off in the distance you see a little blue flash.
yeah, it's through the window, and Winter's back is to it.
Now
Yeah.
let's get this lockbox open. What can we do for that?
Well, you're the tech whiz.
Okay, I will tinker on this lockbox.
Standard risky.
With my fine tinkering tools.
Desperate brain.
Ding!
Is there anything I can do to help?
I already have 3
Hmm.
for a desperate grade. What's a desperate consequence look like here? I wonder.
Desperate consequence.
We fucking
It bites.
Well, if we get out of here with, if we can accomplish this without a consequence,
would a resist for that consequence be a prowess roll?
Well, we don't know what the consequence is,
I'm
but
gonna
it might
say desperate consequence. Right, a desperate consequence. A security guard has heard you unlocking this box. Like you open it and it like and the lock falls and hits the floor, and a security guard is about to be at the office. Like that's a desperate consequence. Is a guard shows up next turn.
be.
I would
True.
like to get some tinker XP.
You can do that because I could see you prowess resisting that the same way you prowess resisted the attendant guy.
I'll do the desperate grade.
Okay. Wait. Okay.
6.
Success, no
2
consequence.
ones.
6 is
Oh my
fine.
god.
Wow.
All right. So,
Good thing we got great
Get that
burglary
XP.
tools.
so
Yeah,
you
yeah, mark that XP.
like,
Fine tool.
so you're like, all right, you know, there might be a guard coming up soon. We gotta hurry, and you like just grab the lockbox, take out the fine burglary tools, stick the lockpick in. You're there for like 5 seconds. It's a shit lock. Swings open. In here is the answer sheet for the upcoming Lit 364 exam, and an emergency coin purse with a stash in it.
Oh yeah, sure.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, we take
You get a
both
free
of those
stash
you
stashes.
get to
here, or what
basically
can we-
pickpocket, remote pickpocket
Well,
this guy.
Stashes are
It's
personal.
actually personal.
Yes, it
so
is.
I
There's
think
a
you've
stash.
earned it. Yeah.
Kirchup has a stash.
Hello,
and
I will
next-
take this stash now.
Okay. And now you guys have the test answer sheet.
Cool. Let's get out of here.
Are there multiple or just the one?
Just the one.
It's what we came for.
Sorry, Beatrice. If he finds out that we took him and he changes the test, sucks to suck.
You can take some time to redraw the ward if you would like.
Ooh. Do we have that kind of time?
I can just binding oil this.
Redrawing the ward would mean that the professor is less likely to find out that the answers have been taken and change the test. If we reset it perfectly, he might not know until the test has happened.
Back up binding oil. Let's go. Let's try to redraw the ward.
Standard risk.
Back up binding.
All right.
Two?
Yes.
All right, you've got your chalks to do it with. Standard risky roll. I think you've got 2 dice.
I've got 2 dice. It's standard risky, which is pretty cool. I'm going to add a ward of shocking, minor ward of shocking, to the top of this box in my red chalk.
Go ahead.
I have a red. I have all the pigments.
Oh.
2 threes.
Failure with consequence.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Reroll.
Oh, yeah, what?
Worst position.
No.
No, because that has to be controlled. But also, why wasn't this controlled?
Because you're drawing a ward that you haven't drawn before.
Yeah, that's fair.
But
So-
you broke it before.
Yep.
I'm just relaxing. I've earned my break.
So Winter, you try and draw this ward, and halfway through it activates, dealing a level 1 harm zapped.
I'd like
Armor?
to... I might as well armor.
Yeah, go ahead and
Go
armor.
for it, like
Because,
rubber glove.
yeah, winter...
Just the
So you
one.
have not successfully warded this box shut.
I don't think he'll notice.
I'm going to binding oil it just for fun.
Winter is going to... He's going to finish the ward, not in a magical way, but in a... It looks like something's drawn on there way.
Okay, sure.
And I'm going to binding oil the box shut, binding oil the lock shut. Just make it shut so he can't open it.
You're taking a load for binding oil.
Mm-hmm.
Are you doing anything else to prepare this room?
We reset everything as
you've
it
done
was.
that. Mhm.
So we put the box right where it belongs.
As it was.
Yes.
And
I have 2 vials of drift oil right here.
suits me.
And you're going out the window?
Yeah.
Drift oil out.
Classic
perpetually
bookenders.
light.
Close the window behind you.
Yeah.
And you float down to the ground. We cut to a table. At this point, you can only see the chess pieces on the board, and there's like a view of a side window in the library. And Cornelius Teague leans forward and looks out the window to see you guys just landing on the ground and crunching into the snow. And he smiles, inhales, like chuckling to himself, and says, "Ha, just as anticipated." As across the table, you hear, "Checkmate," and he goes, "Fuck!" We cut to Beatrice Pineworth, sitting at a number of desks have been arranged into a circle for the meeting of the pros, and they're just sort of like discussing what poetry they like, what they're working on this week, the works of Babu Saif, his famous line,
You'll never
You'll
take me
"Never take me
alive.
alive."
You
From the
wrote that.
work, Greatest Hits of Babu Saif,
Yeah.
650 to
Babu
652.
Saif's, yeah, assorted works.
Right. And you guys walk in. Who's presenting the? You're all walking together? Or
Yes.
just-
Yeah, Herschel's
we'll all
the
work
front
together.
man in this situation.
Yeah.
He's the
Especially because he's the one who
contact.
took the job.
And she's going to lean up and say, "Hey, is this about last week? Did you?"
He's going to slide a paper onto the table, and then as a paperweight, honestly, in the same motion, he's going to set a pawn on top of the paper taken from Cornelius Teague and say, "A gentleman keeps his promises."
Well, so does a lady. And she drops a purse of coin onto the table in front of you.
2
Two.
coin.
I must say, I'm pretty impressed. The cheat sheets aren't going to be happy with me. I can't imagine they'll be happy with you either, but you've done us all a great service here today. I'm gonna pass this along. It's good to know that there's competition in town for those overcharging title sheds.
Yes. Krielhelma's a massive capitalist. We love busting monopolies with competition.
It has been our pleasure.
And you two are...
The military-industrial complex.
Winter.
Nice to meet you. What should I call you all?
We've decided on a name at this point, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
you have. Yeah, and she's just like, what do you by reputation?
Oh, you
We
know those
are
things. Yeah.
The Bookenders, at your service.
Well, bookenders, you ever need help with an introductory lit class? We've got your backs. You have +1 relationship with the pros, -1 relationship with the cheat sheets.
I have
and
marked
2
them
more.
accordingly.
Yippee! I love my coin.
Now,
I understand.
oh, and we cut to like little midway through the credits scene of Cornelius Teague, like It's like a close-up shot of him like scratching his chin, like, I know something is going on. And it cuts to a chessboard fully set up with one pawn missing. And then we cut to black. And that's where we'll end. We'll cover downtime. We're going to introduce faction clocks now as well for the relevant factions.
Nice.
I don't know that we need to do that on recording. I don't think it's
No, I
good.
think we're good.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Good perpetual.
Bye.